evening. Oh, excuse me. Good evening. I'm Richard. This is Everything and Anything coming to you from Los Angeles, California. It's pretty late, 11 o'clock at night here, Saturday night. Pretty quiet. We need to talk about some things because it's confusing to me. The thing that's confusing to me is that who is being held accountable for sending our troops to these fake wars? I mean, if you lie about why we're in war and we send people over there and they die, who's being held accountable for this? This is the second time, probably more than that if we really want to be truthful, you know, that we've been lied to about why we're in the war. This time it's so many different stories about why, and we all know why. Like we all know that. Why do we give people that we know are corrupt power? It's so ignorant of us. We know who these people are. They tell us. They tell us. Access Hollywood. We've had judges accused of sexual misconduct, had them in court, and because it's a woman, I can't see how any woman would want to be a part of that, anywhere near it. Let it hit your family. Let one of your 13-year-old daughters be trafficked. Oh my goodness. Who's being held accountable? And we send our troops over to these fake wars. We're doing it now. How does everybody, when I listen to people, I heard Obama give an interview a couple of days ago with Brian Tyler Cohen, who you need to be listening to instead of these mainstream people that are being fought over because it's money and brainwashing. Man, what are you talking about? What did they? If you are still calling these uh, networks television programming, duh, they even told you then that they're programming you, and we still got hooked. I'm a boomer. I'm hooked too. I was, come on. If I knew what I knew now at 14 and 15 when I was all gassed up on this crap, on this fake dream, American dream, man, please. And we give them power. We know who they are. They've all been 40 years ago. We had the Supreme Court justices being accused of sexual misconduct, and we did nothing. And look where we're at now. Look where we at. We deserve it. We deserve it. And now and we've got the whole world just bombing. So many conspiracies that aren't conspiracies now. Are you joking, America? Who's going to hold them accountable? How do we? Is anybody investigating whether Iran was close to having a nuclear warhead or something, whatever they're saying? Is anyone investigating that to see if that's true? When we have an administration that lies 99.9% of the time, and nobody's investigating whether Iran is truly close to having a nuclear weapon, but we can have all that we want. And he's got his finger on the button. It's the guy, man. He doesn't know what he's doing. Can we get some more public servants in government instead of these businessmen and people that are only concerned with money and power? That's what your government is. They're public servants. Go up to Trump and call him a public servant. See, don't he? If you know him, any of his people, they're not serving the public, serving their pocketbooks and their families. He doesn't care if they lie to you, but if they lie on him, which they're not lying, they get fired. So he says he had no idea she was spending our money to promote her terrible job that she's doing. You need to stop watching these people on Fox and these mainstream, even a lot of these mainstream. There's only so much. Look what ABC did. They fired the guy, and then they knew, oh, we better put him back on the air because this is not. Duh! Why did you take him off in the first place? Why is everybody bowing down to a coward? To a coward. Never served. Can't tell you why we're in this war or because they were going to get us first. Get out of here. You're in this war because you're being manipulated. You're compromised. It's starting to come out. These people are monsters. Everybody that's got this these so-called billionaires, if we lifted up the cover on the majority of them, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Tax them. It's the only thing they care about is money. And his days are not long because as soon as they don't care about what he's doing to people. But when that stock market's and I got stocks, it is not suffering. Mine are staying right where they normally are, going up a little bit, sometimes going down a little bit. It's nothing to indicate there's going to be a crash. Nothing to indicate there's going to be a crash. In my eyes, I don't, I'm not a seasoned, I don't have no money. I just, it's their money. I'm investing, you know? So, I mean, I don't know what to say. It's ridiculous. Can someone tell me, please, who's going to be held accountable for okay, there's crimes being committed as far as, that's one of the reasons probably why this FBI lady got fired. I mean, DHS lady got fired. No, is because there's crimes being and there's she can't just take out money and to go into the woods or the mountain somewhere and film and give her own people money to make this commercial, and now they're rich. 200 million? Are you serious? These people ain't playing. They're gonna bankrupt it, and now we're in war. You know how much war costs? This thing is costing $1 billion a day. We're so much in debt, man, and China can end us like that financially. That's why they keep us around. We're youthful idiots. And not that we're not benefiting from it too. We're the richest, they say. Russia was supposed to be a superpower. How come they're having so much problems with Ukraine? If they're a superpower, they should be able to wipe them off the map like that. Why are they having so many problems? Because all these governments lie. And this government's been lying to us since 1776. Native Americans are savages. Black people are monkeys. Latinos are, you know what? He said it on his first run up to his presidency. What they think anybody's not white and privileged is. That's the narrative, been a narrative in this country ever since it started. They want to act like we're the boogeyman or immigrants are the boogeyman. If you fall into that lie, you are really ignorant. If you fall into that lie that they're the problem in this country. Yeah, there's a few of them that are a problem. Some of them make ugly cars and trucks and dupe Americans into buying that crap. But anyway, let's get back on track to what's going on right now. I don't know what's going on, who's being held accountable, whether this stuff is true, is why we're in there. Who's going to investigate that? Who did it? What happened to Bush when he lied about the weapons of mass destruction? What? Didn't we demolish Iran in the summer or obliterate as our president said? But now they're close. Within 6 months, close to they're close to having another. Oh man, this is so crazy, and we're allowing it to happen. I'm listening to the Go, about how they're going to try to take the elections. He did the investigation. A right wing, their people did the investigation. One of their places they go to for statistics said, that's what did they say? Since I don't know what year, that 10 people that weren't, illegal immigrants voted in elections over like was it 20 years? Goldman, go see Dan Goldman, the one that was impeaching Trump. Goes, who was he talking to? No, his when he was questioning Bondi about how many illegal immigrants, was it Bondi or Norm? One of them, but he was he did the investigation. He had their people do it, and it was only 10 people that were illegal that voted. Trust me, go look at the numbers. I posted them a while back when I used to be on social media. Uh, this country didn't get interested in voting for these people until Obama got in there. And then and our president now was so jealous that a black man became president. He figured he'd go for it. Told us who he was, and we said, like we always do with anybody that got money. Oh, he's okay. He builds houses. Man, this guy's a con man. That's why he never won an election in New York. How do you not win where you grew up and where you did all your business? How do you not win your state that you grew up in? He grew up in the same place I grew up in. He was born in Jamaica Hospital. I grew up in Jamaica, Queens. I'm 5, I'm a boomer. And we've known he's a con man since the 60s, I believe. Nobody paid him attention in New York. He was mad. That's what he was upset about. He wants all the attention. Now, in my opinion, I just listened to Goldberg talk to Ari Melber. In my opinion, he is not going to be here Jan 1st, 2027. Not because of impeachment, which I hope happens. Not because of assassination, which I hope doesn't happen, because that's just going to send the whole world. But I'm going to tell you one thing everybody better do. You better boot up. I don't care who you are, because they are not going to let this guy. Look what they did in Jan 6th, man. That was a test run. You don't think that they know now what they need to do to be successful at overturning the government? That's what they're going to try to do. They tried to do it the first time. It didn't work. So you better boot up. And you better not be nowhere near. I remember the first one where people were just there and curious, and they walked into the building, and now they're in jail because you walked into that building. Know the law, man. It's gonna be hell when this guy gets voted out or impeached, whatever, because he's already tainted the water, saying the only thing that's fake is him. He is not. Netanyahu was telling him what to do. Are you serious? And they all got these compromised. The guy he gave the people that gave him the big jet are now becoming. We're seeing stuff on the Epstein file saying that they're torture guys. We knew that. He knew that. But Americans still gave him power. We give him all power. One of his appointees, Supreme Court Justice, was brought before when he was being confirmed. Everybody said he was one of those. Starts with a P, ends with a. Everybody said he was one of those. And they would have questioning him about it. But because it's a woman, We don't believe them. And that's what we need to be putting in power. Not these, not Blondie and Bondi and Noam. In my opinion, is black women like Crockett, women of color like AOC, who come on, oh yeah, they're going to give the country away. Please, you've already given the country away to some corrupt billionaires who are going to phase you out too. They don't have no use for us. That's why everything is now being AI. AI is a tool to spy on you, man. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It's on everything. It's on our phones. It's tracking us. Listen to Democracy Docket. Mark Elias. He's the lawyer that's suing Trump and that's beating him every time. They're trying to get everybody's information from the voter rolls. Trying to pressure AI companies into giving them access to our information so they can spy on us. Because he's so convinced he was spied on during his campaign. Nobody spied on him. You give yourself away. You tell. They even talk about Comer when they said, "Well, why are you investigating these people for corruption, but you're not investigating the UAE that's in Trump's orbit and giving him money, and he's exchanging by giving him our property?" He said, "Oh, well, he's doing his out in the open." But he was all behind the scenes with Hunter Biden, trying to throw him in jail, him and Biden. And he doesn't want to touch Trump. But he says, "Oh, the reason why we're not doing that because he does his out in the open. This was done covert." What difference does it make? Is it a crime? These people are really thinking that this is going to work. And if we sit back, keep giving them power, Bezos, Musk, people are corrupt, man. They're giving this guy money to let them get away with stealing our money and telling us who they like and who they don't like. I never, I mean, they make it, oh, it's so convenient. Yeah, it's convenient. But, we all fell into that. It's convenient. But now we're seeing the kind of people that are stealing our money, and they're not good people. Okay? They're not good people, in my opinion, and in maybe 80% of the people, and these people that are all of a sudden, oh, I'm not with him no more. No, stay there, please. Because as long as he was abusing people, you were okay. I mean, the people that don't look like you, that you believe are stealing from this country, he is one of the billionaires. Oh my God, we're so gullible. I used to say 40% of people in this country don't really know and don't have a desire to know. Now it's about 60. I'm not going to go as far as to say what I used to say, but it's true. But in my opinion, it's went to 60. And the reason why he won't be here on January 1st, I believe, is because his health. Look at him. Does he look like he's well? Come on, man. 70 years old, 75 or 6 years old, and traveling to other countries. And every time he gives a speech now, his whole face is soaking like he's playing an NBA game or something. Never was like that before. That's what happens when you lie. When you lie, your health just deteriorates, especially if a person like him, who his lies affect millions of people and everybody. The whole Middle East is in turmoil because of him. Thanks for $6 a gallon gas, Trump, as they were thanking you during the holidays for $2 gas, $2 a gallon gas, which never happened. Many lies that you told. But this is surely your baby here. I would point people to the fact that most of the uh, policies of presidents can affect the gas prices, but they don't set the gas prices. Their policies can affect them. And this policy here of going over there unprovoked to bomb Iran, and later they just gave them power to put boots on the ground. So, once the billionaires start losing, once the stock market does crash, if it does, that's when it's all going to stop because they don't care about people. They just care about money. This is Richard. Everything and anything. I'm going to put some links of the true journalists in this country on my comments because if you listen, you probably say, "Oh, well, you listen to this now," because I know Ari Melba is a top notch lawyer. Okay, Rachel Maddow is top notch in her investigative reporting, and she pulls no punches. These are people, once you get my age, you can tell who's lying. I wish more, well, they know he's lying, but they just want to go with it because it's lying in their pockets. But I wish more people would stop giving these uh, evil people power in this country. It's happened way too often. And some of these rules need to be changed. I heard Obama, like I was saying in this interview, say the same thing Trump is saying that we need to get rid of the filibuster. And I believe we need to get rid of executive orders. That's what it is. We need to get rid of because that's what's hurting us. Executive orders. Hey, come on. I mean, look what's happening. With him being able to do that. That's why the troops are. That's why we're bombing them because he can just do that without comment. Oh, other presidents did that, yeah, but we knew why. Why are we doing it now? Why are we doing it now? Please answer those questions to America because you got us so split. We're not going to rise up. The people aren't going to rise up. We're too timid. We're the weakest. Really, we pretend to be strong, but when our leader is you, we're weak. Happy 9/11, America. This is everything and anything. I'm Richard. Hit me up in the comments. I'm out.